Alright guys, welcome back to MMAUnhinged. Today I'm joined by UFC light heavyweight smiling Sam Alvey. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I've had a good day. How about yourself?
I've been having a great day. Just got done with practice. Now I get to eat a little fish and a salad for lunch.
Yeah, how was practice?
It was good. Yeah, it was boxing day today. Got some studs in there beating me up. So if I'm a little marked up, I got to work on that.
Was that Dan Hendo hitting you with a H bomb?
That was yesterday. Oh man.
Is he still getting at it?
Oh yeah. He still keeps all of us in line. He's an animal.
Yeah.
He's
How
good. 3 minutes. For 3 minutes, he's the deadliest man on earth.
how is he now? Like 50, 49 maybe?
49. Yep. I think he turns
49, yeah.
once.
I was about to say 50 then for a sec, but I was like, I wouldn't put that on top of him. He might hit me with a H bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting to the question. So you're not scheduled to fight at the moment. When's Sam Alvey looking to get in there?
I'm pretty ready. All I really need to know is what weight class they want me at, 85 or 205. I'm willing to do both, and as soon as they've got someone for me, I'm gonna say yes.
So is that the big question? Because my next question was, the last four fights have been at 205. Is there a drop coming to down to 185 soon?
I'm willing to. I was never a big 205er. I always got to about 230, but when I was 185, I was still about 230. So I'm about the same size. It'll be harder. I mean, I'm bigger, stronger, all that now, but I can still make 85, and that's where they want me. That's where I'll go.
Is there any name on the tip of your tongue that you would like next, or is it anyone they offer?
Shoot, I'm on a 4-fight skid. I'm just blessed ahead. They're giving me that next shot. So I'm in no place to call out anyone. But if I was to call out somebody, I would call out whoever's injured, whoever's lost like a bunch in a row, somebody who's just going up a weight class just because, someone weaker than me, someone slower than me. That's who I'd call out.
So you've had 47 professional fights, and 33 of them you've won. Which win in your whole career was probably the best to cherish?
Well, you got to go with the Rashad Evans win. I beat a Hall of Famer. He's on the champions list. So that's really one of the fights I'm most proud of. But then my fight against Nate Marquardt, that's probably my favorite fight in the UFC. Nate was a coach of mine on The Ultimate Fighter, and Nate Marquardt is just, he's just a legend of the sport. He belongs in the UFC Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah, so you kind of said this earlier that you're on a four-fight skid at the moment, and that's the worst run in your career in
Yeah.
your professional career. You've never lost three fights in a row. You've lost two, then you've got to win. You've won the next fight, and at the moment you're on your worst like stint in your career. Does that kind of affect you mentally, or does it kind of drive you to get that win?
It's a driving factor. I'm better than 4-fight skid. And then you can always, every fighter will justify. Well, I actually did win the last two, but the judges were terrible, and the two before that, stupid Mark Goddard got in the. Nah, I'll own it. It's my bad. I didn't do what I needed to do. I needed to get the finish, and I didn't. So I'm gonna, whoever my next opponent is, they just better be aware that I'm gonna friggin' kill them. I'm gonna hurt them. I'm not gonna try and win the fight. I'm gonna try and shorten their career. I just need this win, and I got nothing to lose at this point. If I lose, I'm gone. If I win, I'm winning again.
So obviously you haven't got an opponent scheduled at the moment, so we can't really talk about how that fight's going to go. So we'll talk about tomorrow night's fights. UFC 252, the main event. How do you see it going?
Now you should know I have 100% record in picking the main event wrong. So whatever I pick, y'all should bet heavy the other way. But I am picking Daniel Cormier to win. I think I
I
I
did
think
that because when you said it was wrong, that means Stipe wins, and I'm a huge
yes.
Stipe fan.
Yeah, and I love both of them. Both of them
Yeah.
would be good champions. We're good champions. DC won the first one pretty handedly and was winning the second one until he got knocked out. They both look sharp in their weigh-in photos today. So I'm picking DC, but I'm probably wrong.
233 for Stipe Miocic, 236 for Daniel Cormier. That's what they weighed in.
Yeah, and they're both not very big heavyweights, so but they looked good.
Yeah, Stipe is getting leaner and leaner, and he looks absolutely shredded. Looks in shape for a heavyweight.
He's always he looks in shape.
Yeah.
the COVID-15. He didn't gain it.
Yeah, so this fight is a bit of a tricky one. I do want Stipe to win because I feel like if Daniel Cormier wins, it kind of sets back the heavyweight division even more because he's going to retire. If he does retire, then we kind of have to do like a vacant title eliminator kind of sort of thing. And Dana White kind of said that will be Stipe again. Stipe will fight Francis Ngannou, but I kind of hope Stipe wins so we keep the heavyweight division rolling a bit more.
Yeah, I kind of feel the other way about it. I think DC wins. I think he retires, so then it's an open belt. I don't think if it's an open belt, I think you have a little runoff, and maybe Jones fights for the title then against Ngannou, maybe. But I think if Stipe wins,
51.
Yeah, I think if Stipe wins, I think John Jones gets a title shot immediately, which puts Ngannou back a little bit. And then if Jones beats Stipe, I don't think Jones ever fights Ngannou. And so I would like to see I would like to see DC win just to clear the division, and then see what happens next.
I think Dana White did mention that if Stipe wins, Francis Ngannou is in line next for the title shot.
He should be, but I think Jones gets first. I think if Jones wants to jump up, I don't think Jones is stupid enough to fight Ngannou, but I think he would fight Stipe.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would be stupid enough to fight Ngannou.
Yeah.
The guy is an absolute killer, absolute monster at heavyweight.
He is. He is terrifying. He is the guy I would never fight.
The funny thing is, he's terrifying because of his power, but if you kind of put him in slow motion, his defense, his striking defense, I hope he's not watching this, he's probably going to come for me, but if you watch his striking defense against Rosenstruik, for example, when he was trying to, when Ngannou was trying to punch Rosenstruik, his defense wasn't all there, and if someone could take his punch, for example, and counter him on the chin.
Yeah, but who's going to be able to take that punch? I mean, Rosenstruik, wasn't he knocked out in 12 seconds or something?
Yeah. If you kind of watch it back, Ngannou's just swinging wild.
Yeah.
Get clipped.
I would have liked to have seen DC versus Ngannou, but I think I'd pick Ngannou over DC. But I'd like to see it. I'd like to see if DC could get the takedown.
DC's always mentioned that Ngannou's just got his striking, and if they did fight them two, he would take them down. And
nobody from this point on is going to be stupid enough to try and test their chin against Ngannou. I mean, even when Stipe beat him the first time, beat him pretty handedly. It was almost 5 rounds to none. It was still round 5. He kind of hit Stipe, and Stipe was kind of rocked.
If you get hit by Ngannou's jab, it could be the end of the night. So UFC 252 tomorrow night, they won't be fighting without a crowd, and luckily I'm speaking to someone who hasn't fought with a crowd. At UFC 249, Ferguson versus Gaethje, there wasn't a crowd for your fight versus Ryan Spann. What was the experience like fighting there?
I'd done it once before that too on The Ultimate Fighter. I fought in Mandalay Bay with nobody in the arena. So I even had a little experience with that. It was no big deal. Of course, I prefer the fans. I like the feeding off the energy and all that. But you get out there, and you just imagine the fans. You slap the fake, you high five people who aren't there, and it was good. It was different. It was unique. I know in a year from now, nobody will ever do it again, probably. But it was good.
Touch wood anyway. I hope there's not another virus coming around.
Yeah, COVID-20. It's only a matter of time.
So did it help you kind of listen to your coaches more when you're in that moment of maybe adversity and you're thinking, oh, what should I do here? And you hear your coaches yell something in instruction and you think, oh, I should do that.
It was better listening to the other guys' coaches. You could hear that. There is a problem with this. And it came to a few weeks ago with who was the commentating? The British bloke.
Michael Bisping or Dan Hardy?
The other one.
Dan Hardy.
What's that? Dan
Hardy.
Yes, Dan Hardy. Yeah. He affected that fight when he freaked out, saying, "Oh, stop the fight!" I love Dan Hardy. He's one of my favorite commentators. But I was so offended when he did that because I think he changed that moment. I think he personally got what was it? Trinidad was punching the other guy. Yeah. I think he personally got him hit because he was still defending himself on his back. And then all of a sudden you hear Dan Hart, stop the fight. and there's a second one, like all the judge and the two fighters kind of like, what? Huh? It stopped, and then he got hit again. And I think the commentators can be heard by all the judges. And every word they say when I was fighting, I could hear the commentators. When Ryan Spann was trying to choke me, I heard the commentator, "Oh my God, Sam's almost out." I wasn't even being choked. But I'm sure all three judges thought I was getting choked right then. The commentator said it. And so I think that is a real issue. I wish the commentators could be in a different room, or something like that. But the atmosphere itself is okay. The atmosphere without the fans, I'd prefer the fans, but we can make do.
Over here, boxing just got started again, and they kind of had the same problem with the commentators. But then in week 2, they kind of put the commentators with like a window in glass in front of them, just to try to shut out like their noise to make it not, I'm trying to think of a word. Oh, when noise.
The echo.
Echo, yeah, that's it. So
Yeah,
trying to stop the noise from echoing and.
Yeah, and I could see it. I would like to see the UFC do that, but I don't know if the UFC's even thought about it yet. But yeah, everything Joe Rogan says, everything Michael Bisping says, cage side, judges here. I thought it was another one. Cowboy fought Anthony Pettis. The commentating was pretty high on Pettis the whole fight. Me and Hendo, we were watching in the room after my fight, and we both had Cowboy winning the fight. It was close, and we weren't upset, but we both had we were arguing. Hendo and I were arguing with the people on TV, the commentators on TV, because they were just high on Pettis, and then Pettis gets the decision. So I think there've been a couple times when it's worked out where the commentators have swayed a judge or two.
So with the with no crowd, do you reckon there should be like maybe an implication of open scoring?
I would like to see it tested. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I really don't. I've never had it done before. I've never experienced it. I think a couple states have done it once or twice.
Invicta did it a few months back.
What's that?
Invicta did it a few months back.
Oh, how did it work out? Because I didn't hear anything about it.
I didn't really see the backlash of it, and apparently it worked quite well. But there was still a lot of decisions that night, and a lot of people still thought they should have went the other way. So it didn't really kind of work.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I would like to. I would definitely be willing to try it out. See if oh, Sam, you're down 2 rounds. The judge said it. I think it could lead to some pretty exciting round 3s. When they were close, but I think I won. To know I didn't could change the way I fight the next round. So it could be pretty useful.
Okay, so UFC 4 just came out for today for British people. What does it feel like for you to see yourself in the game and potentially purge yourself?
Am I in number 4? I know I was in 1, 2, and 3. Excellent. Because I kept looking at the roster, but the roster only put who's new in the game. So my teammate Dom Reyes is in it, and so I didn't see my name yet. But that's awesome. I am so ecstatic with that. The only thing, it's been a dream of mine my whole life, to be in a video game, to be a character like that. Now I've been in 4 of them. All I need now is an action figure. I need an action figure of myself, and that'll just make my life.
Well, I can tell you right now if you're in the game. I'm pretty sure I saw it on Google, but I don't know whether to use that as a segue.
Well, I might be in it. I know I've been in 1, 2, and 3, so they already have my blueprint. They just switched the blueprint up a generation, so I'm probably in it. And everybody watching your podcast, the millions and millions of your fans, y'all should go out and play me because we all get checks the more we get played.
So I'm looking at the roster here. It says you're in light heavyweight. So
perfect. Yeah, and I'm probably a 3-star out of 5-star.
And you're a middleweight.
Okay, cool. See, it's twice. You all go out and play me every time. Pick me, play me. Send me a picture on Instagram. I'll retweet it or reshare it and all that. We get paid at the end of the year, depending on how often our character gets played.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I never knew that.
I didn't either, and then a check showed up. So, well, sweet.
So Conor McGregor's probably getting even more.
He's he's probably everyone's playing him, and Bruce Lee, his family's probably making some money.
I mean, you got on the cover, you got Israel Adesanya and Jorge Masvidal, so they'll be getting paid a bunch.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Oh wow, I never knew that. That was quite interesting. Thank you for letting me know that. So I'm definitely going to go to the fighters who are not really popular. I'm just gonna play with them.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So we'll move on to tomorrow night again. So what are your predictions on the main card? You got Sean O'Malley. You got Herbert Burns versus Daniel Pineda. You got JDS versus Rosenstruck. What's going on? What's your predictions?
I'm gonna pick JDS. Rosenstruck. I'm not that high on him. He's good striker, good kickboxer, but JDS, he's had some of the best out there, and he looks good. And looks don't mean everything, but it does mean he's been working hard. So I'm taking JDS. Sean O'Malley, I think I'm going to pick against him, but it could just be my heart. I know the guy he's fighting a little bit, and I fought on the same card as him a bunch, so I really like the guy he's fighting. So I'm going to pick against O'Malley. And then who else have we got?
You got Herbert Burns versus Daniel Pineda. You got John Dodson versus Murav Dvalishvili.
Oh, I love Dodson. Let's go Dodson. He's a guy I don't ever like picking against because he's one of the most athletic people in the UFC. He could beat. I mean, if you want to pick people who might be able to beat Nagano, it's Dodson.
I mean, how quick he can throw a punch is incredible.
Yeah, and if I had to bet, I'd say he could dunk. He is, I don't know, 5'3" or something, and I'll bet you could dunk.
He's fighting Murav Dvalishvili. He's just takedown. He doesn't know anything else.
Yeah.
You also got Herbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is a brother, I believe, and Daniel Pineda, who used to be in the UFC, had a good run at over in PFL and made his way back to UFC.
I'm going to pick against Burns. The PFL's got some real talent. They had a good run over there. He'll have a good run in the UFC too.
And Herbert Burns did miss weight as well today. Came in at 149.5.
Oh, he missed weight by a bunch.
3.5 pounds, yeah.
Yeah, shoot. I know most of the time when you miss weight, you win.
It's that weight advantage you get tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah, the weight advantage, or more just you don't have to cut that weight. You don't spend the time on it, so you get the much better recovery.
Has that ever happened to you, where your opponents miss weight and?
No, I always wanted to the extra money. So I've got 70 something fights. I missed weight one time, and it was in the UFC. It was I took a short notice fight over in Poland. I was supposed to cut 42 pounds in 10 days, and I made it to 40, which is how many kilograms is that? That's 18 kilograms. I ate kilograms in 10 days.
That's a good segue onto our next question. When I asked about, has there been a fight that gone against you? Has there been a decision that's gone against you where you thought, I definitely won that fight? I should have got a nod that night.
My last fight, I watched it again against Ryan Spann. It was a great fight. I can't hate the judges that much. It was a good fight, but I watched it again and I outstruck him. I stopped all but 2 takedowns. I think I stopped 8 takedowns. I was in control of most of it. I thought I won the fight. I thought the judges did me wrong. But it was a great fight. I really like Ryan Spann. He's a very talented athlete. I can't wait to see he's fighting Johnny Walker next. So that's an exciting fight I'm going to tune in for. And that was probably the one that gets me the most. But it's the most recent, so it'll fade in time.
So last question is, how does Sam Alvey win his next fight?
Knockout. I'm gonna freaking knock him out. Whoever it is, they're gonna have a stutter the rest of their life. That's how hard I'm gonna hit them.
Actually, we go for one more. Actually, sorry to keep you. You probably want to go to practice. So we'll talk about Tyson versus Jones. What's your situation? How do you feel about that?
Mike Tyson versus John Jones?
Yeah. No. Roy Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. John Jones. I wanted to see that fight. Yeah, I'm going to pick Tyson. It's a fight I think Tyson's supposed to win. I think all the money's going to charity, or it's probably Mike Tyson's charity, but it's all going to charity. But it's going to build some hype, so it'll be an exhibition, and then the fight after that will be a better one. And I don't follow boxing that much, but I do. Everyone's a fan of the highlight reel of Mike Tyson. So I'll be interested in watching that one.
For sure. Well, thank you very much for the time that you've given us today for the interview, and I wish you luck in your next fight. Hopefully you fight again soon.
Hey, I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.